Our I was about to say two biannual, but our biannual events raising money for charity. Speaking of which, the upcoming event is going to be Summer Games Done Quick 2023. That is going to be happening from May the 28th to June the 4th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you want to know what the games list is looking like for that show, that marathon, there we go. Words, surely some words. The games list is going to be coming out in April or on April the 4th, which is barely 3 days away, which is going to be exciting. I've submitted a couple of games. If you submitted, best of luck. I'm sure the Games Committee have had a lovely time looking through people's submissions and are excited for whatever they're going to bring you. But in the meantime, this is a hotfix. This is usually going places. This is moving places, going nowhere. So the usual theme of this show is handheld consoles, handheld game speedruns, so something with a handheld console in mind when it was in development, and region exclusive games. So I thought, Sec Brother first, let's twist things up a little bit. Let's see how we could do a little spin on this show. And lo and behold, the way that we are going to be doing that today is having some VR and active games. So not only are we going to have Witherman, who's about to show us Quake 3 in VR, also just a warning,
motion sickness.
There's going to be a lot of motion, so motion sickness coming up. But also, we are also going to be having Moss shown off by Asuka, as well as, I need to make sure I get the name of this one right because it is hilarious. Give Me Toilet Paper for the Nintendo Switch. That was a game released this year, hot off the press, incredible. And then later on, we are going to be having Ring Fit Adventure with Verxel. We were going to be having Sonic Lost World in between Quake and Moss. That would have been showing us all special stages. Brandino was going to come on and hold his DS like this and move around like this to show us the special stages. But bless him, he's not feeling great at the moment. So best wishes over to him. But we've got Witherman, who's about to show us Quake 3 as Sonic? ? Hello, Wither.
Oh, yeah. How are you doing today, Hib? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Quake 3 VR, the most motion sickness-inducing speedrun maybe of all time. Very few other people speedrun this game due to the amount of physical activity it kind of requires. There will be stages where I need to have high speed and will be taking off my headset so that I can properly throw my head around. This game requires a lot of movement in real life, as well as a lot of pretty intense inputs in-game to move quickly. It's not that bad of a speedrun without VR. With VR, it kind of becomes a nightmare. But I love this game. I think this is a super cool port. It's a native port to the Quest 2. It's not being played off the PC at all. And yeah, we'll be playing as Sonic the Hedgehog, because he's been thrown into this parallel world of the Quake universe, thrown into the Champions Tournament, and for the first time in his life, he is going to learn what war truly means.
So Sonic is truly my favorite Quake character of all time. Oh, brilliant. Well, we're ready when you are.
All right, time is going to start when I hit the fight button on I Can Win. It's going to be in 3, 2, 1, and start.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, the sound effects. This is phenomenal.
All right, nice start.
Good job.
Awesome.
Nice.
Oh, bad spawn. And that's a good first fight. That's a good tutorial.
So for the folks who might not be... Oh, you were going to say?
Oh, no, go ahead.
So I knew that Quake was, an arena shooter game of incredible praise. And the speedrun, I imagine, just consists of, taking everybody down. Is there any behaviors that you know when it comes to the guys that you've got to attack?
So Quake 3 is the most unique single-player experience, I would say, of the mainline Quake trilogy. or Quake quadrilogy, I suppose. But we all like to forget the fourth one happened. Okay, Ranger. Quake 3 is a very heavily multiplayer competitive focused game, and as such, they turned the single player campaigns into bot arenas, where each AI actually has their own personality, which influences their decisions and what pickups they're going to be prioritizing.
Okay.
So Ranger here is going to be really going after that red armor. So most of his spawns will be around this area. He's going to be trying really hard to get here. So my goal is to block off these hallways and catch him when he spawns. Sometimes he'll be coming up here just to check to see if he can rocket launcher. But every time I do that, here he comes.
One frag left.
Yeah, he's going to be running for the plasma.
Accuracy.
So on top of behaviors, if there's any, these first couple arenas are pretty simple, as they're going to be just duels with easier AI. But the further into the game we get, the more gets thrown at us.
You have taken the lead.
So the later fights are going to be focused around multiple enemies at the same time, sometimes upwards of 6. And the maps are massive.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm unable to find anybody, also these spawns have been fantastic. But if I'm unable to find somebody, I may need to just snag a kill and then teabag them.
Great.
And teabagging in VR is, as you'd expect, done in real life. I will be real life teabagging the AI, and doing something like this makes them more aggressive. So they'll start running after me more.
Wow. I mean, understandable to be fair.
Just heard him pick up the haste power up. He's probably going to be trying to get the armor. He got it. Crap. I don't know where he's at now. There he is. So the haste power up massively increases your speed. So if you thought this wasn't nauseating already,
I've just seen a very good message that somebody's dropped in chat saying, lowest setting AI difficult is extremely easy. Nightmare bots will wait for you in the kitchen in real life.
2 frags left.
armor shard. Oh, but that was an ammo pickup. Where is he? Whatever.
Ooh, nice. Nice little movement there.
That was our first and probably last instance, maybe not, of a plasma climb. There are a few movement techs which revolve around dealing self-damage. You jerk! He killed himself, so I didn't get the point.
Oh.
1 frag left.
And in case you were nervous, don't worry, we will be rocket jumping.
Hey.
Mince. Orb.
This is actually a pretty primo map to show that off.
You have taken the lead.
This is our first match with multiple opponents, and that's our first rocket jump.
Sweet. So I haven't had the chance to really get very hands-on with VR, but how did you find like acclimatizing to it? Because I feel like if I was trying to play this game right now, I'd be trying to jump in real life, and I don't think I'd be going anywhere.
So I do.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. The way that I've acclimatized to VR is I just kind of get really into it, which is what's made this speedrun so natural for me. Like,
Huh. Okay.
There was discussion when Quake III VR was being tossed around, it hadn't been fully made yet, of people not sure how straight jumping or anything like that would work. And I threw out the idea of a joke of, why don't you just straight jump in real life? So, as you can see, it actually does work.
Just do it in real life, bozo. Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Now this time, doing a rocket jump does knock me off my balance, but sometimes they are important. Like that one.
Hey. That was smooth though.
Okay, now we're in our first boss with Sarge. So I'm going to be standing still in this fight occasionally to try and hear where he's spawning. I didn't hear him, so he's probably either behind me or on my left. Okay. Oh, that was Rocky. Yeah.
Ooh.
Frags left.
They're talking about free frag and two frag, but where's refrag?
Oh no, where's refrag left? I'm just gonna stand here for a sec.
Probably in France, bless him.
And there we go. That was a small spawn manipulation, nothing too crazy. He spawned really far away and decided to take the longest path possible to walk there. But when he did show up, he exploded.
You have taken the lead. Excellent.
So did you have a history with this game before giving it a go on VR, or was it just sort of, this is another thing to do in VR, let's just see how it feels?
Oh, so Quake 3, I used to play this game semi-competitively. Like, I used to go to tournaments and locals for Quake Live, which is very similar to Quake 3. I caught the tail end of my local Quake 3 scene.
Excellent.
So I'm able to utilize some of that movement in VR. Of course, anybody who's good at the game knows that like my movement in VR is pretty garbage. But I mean,
You're doing your best.
yeah.
I'm just picturing like a multiplayer, like meetup, but exclusively in VR. I think that would be phenomenal to witness. Just everybody.
So actually,
oh, okay.
one of the sickest things about Quake 3 VR is that despite being a native port to the Quest, it not only does it have crossplay with real PC servers,
Oh my god.
it that with no hassle, by the way, you can just jump into a PC lobby and no one will know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Nice. But oh cool, hello everybody. Oh man, couldn't get him. But not only that, but whenever you download this game, the favorites list will automatically put in servers which only allow VR players. So there is a online player base for this game, much like there is an online player base for the Dreamcast version of this game.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Bossman. Damia.
So Hossman and Damia are interesting, as these two will be prioritizing. This map is huge. We're not going to see like half of it, because these two are going to prioritize 3 pickups. For the red armor I grabbed, this rocket launcher, and a yellow armor which is right here. Otherwise, they will just sprint to this area. Okay, he's coming through. Yellow armor is spawned.
Excellent.
And they might come from here to grab the plasma. Around this point in the match. Yeah, I love Quake.
With you mentioning the Dreamcast, I'm waiting for the day when Sega released the VR extension for the Dreamcast. They've got a keyboard for it. I think they made a printer for it at some point. Fishing rod. It's only a matter of time before that's their next progression.
Oh yeah, just waiting for the 2024 release of the. Hey, that's what they did Cosmic Smash for. They're saying that it's PlayStation only, but that's because they're testing the Dreamcast 2's VR functionality.
Hallelujah.
Damia. Bitterman. You have taken the lead.
Ooh, nice.
So the plasma rifle is a projectile. It is not a hit scan, which means these very slow-moving balls are what actually do damage. The machine gun is hit scan. So it's a shotgun. So I can very easily take out anybody by just looking at them. Oh, you have armor. Goodbye. So I wasn't actually wanting to grab the squad damage. I got a little bit mixed up on my timing. As typically, I want this squad damage to stay in the center of the map, as it kind of draws everybody out to it. But if everybody just keeps running at me, this definitely makes my life a lot easier. Okay, sure.
Nice.
Hunter is a very annoying boss. So she has two things she can prioritize, and the one which we want her to prioritize is the lightning gun right here, which looks like a big spark plug. So if we see her at some point, she's prioritizing the rocket launcher, which is definitely annoying. So I'm going to hope that she's going to come for this anyway, as that means she'll just come down one of these stairs. I hear her footsteps. Nice. She is deciding to prioritize, because I don't want her to prioritize. This fight either goes by extremely quickly, or just kind of drags for a bit. Armor shards. Oh wow, she's really dragging this out. So anyway, what's your history with any sort of shooters, Sid? Have you played any?
Oh, I'm a bit of a baby, really. Like, I don't know. It was generally not something that I played when I was younger. I played a bit of Team Fortress 2, which,
That's pretty similar.
we all have a phase, and I enjoyed when I had a bit of a fixation on that game. I still think it's incredible, and especially in recent times, how people have tried to bring a resurgence back to it. They've got the old voice actors involved and stuff, which I think is honestly so cool. Yeah, Team Fortress 2 was the main one, and I know my brothers liked sort of army-esque games, but never quite appealed to me.
Grunt. Slash.
I think everybody at some point has dedicated far too much time of their life to a specific TF2 server. Everyone's found their one server and goes, yeah, this is my life now.
The maps that I really enjoyed, I don't particularly know why. I think probably because they were just quite simple, and it's quite easy to traverse. The Control Point Orange maps, those were good fun.
So this is our first instance in the run of seeing the railgun. As far as I can remember, I could just be lying. It may have shown up before. But the railgun is a extremely powerful, infinite range hit scan sniper that does enough damage to basically instantly frag anybody, especially with quad damage. The only drawback of it is that if you ever have a chance to see the tiny little dot that I'm moving around with my cursor in the center of the big circle, that dot is the railgun hitbox.
Oh, wow. That is certainly a hitbox.
Okay, everyone chill. Get away.
By the sounds of it, it sounded like you said that had you given TF2 a go in the
Oh
past?
yeah.
What was your class of choice?
I enjoy a lot of scout, heavy, and sniper, and I would juggle between the three. But I also played a lot of medic, especially in man versus machine, the co-op mode.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I'd like a bit of scout, like a bit of demo and soldier. Thought those guys were good fun. Oh my gosh, the sound effect I just heard. This is the gift that truly keeps on giving.
So this is the bucket of fish IL. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand right here, look at this pool of water.
Oh, does everybody jump in?
Yep, you see all those pickups? Every time someone dies, they drop another weapon, which is going to bring more people to this bucket.
Oh, incredible.
So I could just keep grabbing the railgun, which spawns here, and then just looking straight down. Sometimes someone comes to my left. If they do, it's whatever. That person was invisible, but it's okay. They're easy to see.
Wow. Phenomenal.
This map is huge. In a standard run, oh no, oh yeah, thank you for typing. But in a normal run, you normally wouldn't stand here and just do this, but because this is VR, and traversing this map is not something you can really do in VR, at least not effectively, what I like to do is just, kind of relaxing. It's like fishing. This truly is Big the Cat story.
Thank God.
Awesome.
Surely they've put Big the Cat in this game.
So this IL is all hallways. All very condensed, very tight hallways. So before anyone spawns, I prioritize grabbing the rocket launcher, as that may be my only safe time for the rest of this IL to grab it, as the AI have no sense of self-preservation. They will just jump at the same time as you, and you'll both collide in the air and fall to your death.
Wow.
So far, so good. This run's been going pretty well, actually. I normally do take a death on the stage, as there are so many people in a condensed space that, and be using stuff like the plasma rifle, damage will start to pile up. But I'm at the nice number for health right now. That was easy. That was maybe the fastest I've ever done that stage.
Yo, let's go.
And no stage highlights the power of the railgun quite like the classic fight. Oh man, I need to land my shots. There we go. So, this is actually not added in VR. There's a tiny little wing you can see here on the back of the railgun that does line up with where the railgun shoots. The model is actually accurate to aiming with one eye.
Oh wow, that's incredible, like attention to detail. Because I imagine that's something that the people who were making this for VR had to. Well, they didn't have to, but because they chose to, they would have really had to be quite specific. That's cool.
I think you may have actually misunderstood me. This
Maybe.
wing was not added by the VR team. This wing has been there since the game was natively on PC.
Oh yeah.
Which means that this wing has always accurately shown where the railgun
Oh,
would
it's
shoot.
always okay. Wow.
which is kind of nuts, especially because you've never ever had that perspective before, to look down the barrel.
Yeah. Because, yeah, at any given moment, you know, I'm not saying lazy. Some game devs might just, you know, cut corners and think that people, you know, won't see the precision when it comes to something like that, and they think, oh,
This
okay,
one
we should
too.
just, you know, make it somewhat unspecific. But
The
yeah,
entire
you're showing it off
rocket
there
is
as
actually
well.
like a rail. Yeah.
Wow.
It's so cool. The weapon design in this game is timeless. You know what else is timeless? Dancing. This is the dancing IO.
Let's go. Yeah, crank that.
So standing here is kind of optimal. As I stand here, my health and armor go up gradually, and
Nice.
doing so is really loud, and the AI can choose come towards me.
Oop. Yeah, that's definitely the place to be.
The most annoying part about this IL is that everyone spawns with 50 armor, which means that killing people on this stage is really tough.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody was taking quite a lot of hits before going down.
Excellent.
Please.
Excellent.
There are 3 opponents on this stage, being Rack, Tank Jr., and Angel. And all 3 of them have some of the most passive AI in the game. So the little dancing number I do on the armor regeneration station is my coping mechanism.
Ooh, doing a little spin, very impressive.
So sometimes if you see me free fall whenever I rocket jump, or like it seems like I'm not doing anything, it's because if I'm in a tight corridor and I rocket jump, sometimes I just close my eyes. Because that way I don't get disoriented.
Just a reminder for folks who are coming in. Number one, if you're prone to finding things a little bit sickening when it comes to a lot of motion, this might not be your gig. And a reminder that every time you see a jump in this game, yeah, Witherman, you tell him.
One frag.
Every time I jump in this game, every time you see me swing, you've seen any weird mouse movement or something, that's my head. Oh, I don't like this space. Get me out of here. So I also enjoy jumping, or at least moving my legs in real life whenever I jump. So there is a lot of physical activity with this run.
You have taken the lead.
And I found like spinning around and jumping, playing Sonic Freeriders disorientating, and I could see my surroundings. Never mind like what you're having to do right now.
Yeah, the Quest 2 is really good at turning off the world around you. I don't see anything besides the game right now, and I've got the little nose covering thing to block out the light bulb beneath me.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can't see anything but the game.
The immersion is very real.
I am Sonic. I did frag Tank Jr.
Oh my goodness, imagine if it implemented like a faster, I was about to say not Sonic speed because that would be near impossible to play, but imagine if it was, you know, just 10-20% faster.
It's funny, you started saying that as I picked up the pickup, that may be 10 to 20% faster. I took my first death. So now we can do this. In VR, for some reason, you get the screen sheet. I can actually, now that I've died, see everyone on the map and try to plan out a route.
Oh, smart.
Okay.
So, in moments where you don't know where everybody is, or like if you've cleared out a particular area of enemies, might it be faster to die and then have a check? Or is the
Depending.
respawn time quite...
If I were to kill myself, I lose a point, which means that I've undone the frag's worth of
Oh,
progress.
yeah. That makes sense.
I hate the quad damage room on this map, so I just went ahead and grabbed that for myself.
Excellent.
No one's prioritizing the red armor. First time I've ever seen that on this map. Okay, I heard a respawn. They're probably on my left. No, they're inside that. I wonder if they're... Yep. Okay, someone... Shotgun. There we go.
Ooh, nice.
I also forgot to mention, this is as you probably noticed, this is a very audio-heavy game. This game, you get so much information from audio. And every time I stand still or anything, I'm listening for an audio cue. Every weapon has a unique sound effect for whenever it's being pulled out or shot. And certain power weapons, like the BFG, which I'm holding here. By the way, this BFG is ridiculous. It's a machine gun. The BFG, the lightning gun, and the railgun and plasma rifle all have a unique hum when they're out.
Oh.
That was a huge collab. Oh, whoops. I accidentally exploded myself with a quad rocket.
Impressive. Excellent. Excellent.
Everyone's just gonna keep running out. I mean... So... This game is odd. And there's really no way to quite describe what the speedrun of this game is like, unless you played an Adventure Era Sonic game, in which I would say this game is very similar to Knuckles Hunting if the pieces could run away from you and kill you.
I was about to say, boy, have I got news for you. I'm very familiar with that.
It's very similar to like the Knuckles and Rouge stages as a speedrun, which I know for a lot of people might be the most like comparison ever. But as someone who's, you know, ran both, it's pretty similar. It's got a lot of the same ideology.
Interesting. Oh my gosh, I'm just imagining SA2 in VR now, and I'm gonna stop thinking about it because that is gonna make me sick.
Okay, Anarchy.
I've often thought about Sonic games in VR, and like people have made them, but the problem is that if you really want to truly immerse yourself as Sonic, you know, every time he jumps, he's spinning.
He's spinning.
Quite a revolution, and I feel like, you know, just imagine how much spinning he does in one just small jump. Like I don't think any human can take that for more than one jump, personally.
No. Especially with like the amount of jumping I'm doing in this game.
Oh,
we didn't really get to see it, but Sonic's animation in game does actually spin when he jumps.
Oh wow!
Thankfully, I don't have to deal with that. He's in the center. Machine gun below me. There we go. And we are moving on to tier 5. We are pretty close to the end now. Can I get a time check?
Yeah, at the moment, it'll be a little delayed on our end. Wow, we're like 31 minutes through.
Okay, this is like 55 pace, I would say.
All right. So,
The last couple
well past
tiers,
halfway.
last couple tiers are pretty long.
Okay.
As maps start to get a little bit more congested, a little bit more convoluted, movement starts to get more technical and nauseating. There we go. I don't want anyone to have the quad damage on this map. What the? What, he was on my head?
Certainly seemed like it.
How'd you get there?
What a goofy guy.
No. $129, nice. Okay. I'm at 15, that's really close to the end of this map. Everyone's above me though, so I'm gonna hope they fall. Thank you. I'm glad I decided to wear my gym clothes for this one. Oh man.
I was about to say, I imagine when it hits summer, these sorts of games, although, I mean, I don't know what the weather's like over with you at the moment.
It is currently 80-ish Fahrenheit where I'm at right now.
I'm afraid to say I am British, so I don't really know what that means, but I can do some translations. Let's have a look.
I am not quite sure. Oh, okay. That was scary.
That's 26. Yeah, that's pretty warm.
So, what you may notice about this game, if you are relatively newer to id Software games, everyone knows what a BFG is, but no one knows what the Quake III BFG is. This is a really, really weird weapon. We've seen it once before, but the BFG in this game is actually just a super rocket launcher. It fires rockets which are 2 times, if not 2.5 times, more powerful than the regular rockets, but they have slightly decreased self-damage to allow for BFG jumping.
Wow.
That being said, the multiplier you get from the quad damage being, times 4, just melts anyone as soon as you come in contact with them. If you have the quad damage and the BFG, it's over. Everyone's below me. I'm being very careful to shoot pretty far away from me and pretty far away from my opponents, as the splash damage could come back and take me out too. But now that the quad damage is over, I don't really care too much. I can just kind of open fire if I see anybody. Oh, hit a personal teleporter. So there are items in this game that you can pick up, which are consumables, which you can use whenever you feel like you're in danger. There's a full health med kit, and there is a personal teleporter, like we saw there, where it'll teleport you to any random spawn point on the map as soon as you press the button. It's just kind of like a get me out of here tool.
Ooh, we've got somebody wondering whether this is only on Quest or whether it might have been developed for other VR headsets.
Now, I know that what I'm playing is a native Quest port, but I don't know. I would say join the Discord. It's pretty readily available. There must be a port. for other platforms, but I can't say that I'm the most knowledgeable about it. So I simply have a quest, so I've only looked for quest things. I apologize. And they reused the personal teleporter to spawn into a spawn point randomly. Just so happened to land in the one where everybody was at. Worked out pretty great. I will say though, if you have a VR headset and a way to play this game, I would highly recommend it. Especially if you're a fan of Quake 3. It is certainly an experience to play this game in this way. So the Mega Health spawns right here, and you take these jump pads to get up to it. So typically, that is the main power pickup of this map, beyond the battle suit, which someone just grabbed. So this will be where a lot of the bots prioritize walking to. Now they can come from a couple different directions. Like, I don't even know where they came from there. But I'm going to be trying to get back up here without grabbing the Mega Health, as that'll allow them to start piling up.
Yeah, smart.
Now, if you see this guy is glowing orange, that was because he had the battle suit. It is over now. The battle suit is kind of like negative quad damage. So, someone got the Mega Health. Damn. But, goodbye. So, the battle suit will prohibit you, well, not prohibit you, it prevents you from taking damage, basically. It doesn't make you fully invincible, but you take 4 times less damage from everything, so you might as well just, like, not even take damage. It also makes you invulnerable to any stage hazards, such as lava, so you can just walk on lava.
You know, as you do.
That was funny. Oh, that guy had the quad damage. He's still over there. So the quad damage, you have to get the battle suit to grab. The quad damage is in that lava hole right there. So I've never actually seen a non-human player grab the quad damage on this map before. Oh, well there it is. Yeah, my performance on this map has not been great, but that's okay. Life goes on.
I was about to say, like, they're getting harder, so I imagine it's, yeah.
You have taken the lead.
But you've been doing pretty well. Like, I imagine you don't feel too fatigued if you're still performing at this level.
So this one is, I'm a little tired, but I can feel that I'm getting sweaty, lol. But, so this one is very audio-based, as the fog is so thick I can't really see through it, so, but thankfully, and not thankfully at the same time, we always spawn on this map with 50 armor. But spawning with armor means that the armor pickup sound plays, so it makes respawning really loud.
Frags left. 2 frags left.
He keeps respawning behind me, and then he goes the wrong direction.
1 frag left.
There we go.
Nice.
Accuracy. Cheers.
And we have moved on to the true final, well, not the true final tier, but the final tier, with the next tier being just the final boss.
Okay.
This is a map known as the bouncy map. There are a bunch of bounce pads around a central platform, and the AI are going to be prioritizing going to the bouncy pads because they like having fun and are silly. I get to take advantage of this by just standing up here, getting the railgun, and shooting at them. But due to the perspective changes, these shots are actually a lot harder than they look.
Impressive.
Oh no, get away from me, Mr. Skeleton.
Impressive. Impressive. 3 frags left. Excellent. 2 frags left. Impressive. Frag left.
Thankfully, Cadaver just walked past me there and didn't want to play the game.
Didn't want the smoke.
Sore lag. Doom.
Here is now the main railgun test of the game. I play this entire stage with one eye closed.
Impressive.
Oh, nice.
Impressive. Impressive.
Or shall I say impressive?
Excellent. Impressive.
Oh, okay, he's gonna bounce off the back. No, he walked around.
Excellent.
Okay.
Ooh. See ya.
And if I decide to hold the gun with 2 hands, I can do this and zoom in. But I typically tend to do a lot worse with the scope, so.
Impressive.
Nice.
Impressive.
Yeah, that using 2 hands makes it look like it makes things a bit harder.
For some people, it makes it a lot easier. But I definitely prefer playing with 1 here.
1 frag left. Impressive.
I don't know why I decided to just turn it sideways and gangster shot it there at the end, but hey, it worked out.
Sore lag. Cadaver. Bones. Kill.
What? Oh, she died of fall damage. So, in this map, there is a lot going on,
Excellent.
to say the least. But the most important thing is that the quad damage spawns up here, at the end of this 5 health chain.
Okay.
So pretty soon, everyone's going to be rushing to this point. This is also a pretty popular respawn location.
Impressive.
Great, the quad damage is up here now, which means that they have to get through me.
Impressive. Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. Impressive. Excellent. 3 frags left. Impressive. 2 frags left.
I ran out of ammo there. That got scary.
Sore lag.
This map sucks. I have nothing positive to say about the elevator stage.
I was about to say, as far as disorientation goes, this looks like it really takes it up a level. Literally. Not intended.
Impressive.
So this is technically the boss stage of this tier. You'll notice that this one is a bit different. They decided that a one-on-one wasn't apt. They were instead going to try and bore you to death with the only bad map in the entire game. And my main strategy for this map is get as high as possible, wait for people to jump over. Oh wow.
Someone in chat said that this map feels like a tech demo, and I totally see that.
I can totally get that. This game also being released in 1998. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive. Like, it's an impressive map. Got a lot of verticality, a lot of things, I guess. I don't know. This, and everyone seems to have a personal teleporter all the time. So every time you land a shot, if someone teleports as soon as you shoot, that means you landed the shot, and the AI just like waited for it to hit them when they teleport.
Oh.
I'm almost done with this stage though, and the next stage coming up is going to be the final boss. So time will be on the 10th frag of the next match. I fell.
Gotcha.
Impressive. 3 frags left. 2 frags.
Just stood there.
Yeah, sometimes the AI just also give up.
Ooh.
1 frag left.
Ooh, nice. Oh, nice aerial view. Alright, we are now entering the final boss. Which, wouldn't you know it,
0.
also a railgun stage.
Oh, great.
You have taken the lead.
That's 2. So time will be on the 10th kill.
Gotcha. 7 left.
5.
Ooh.
6.
Ooh. Oh, yep, 6. 7.
3. 2. 1.
1. Ooh. Ooh, he's almost there. Ooh. Ah! Almost.
He teleported!
Ah!
Why am I so low? 10 times!
Hey, GG. That was a very funny end. Oh, class. GG,
Yeah.
well done.
Thank you. So that was Quake 3 VR.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I don't know how many people, have the means to try out this game, but if anybody was interested, how easy is it to, get this running and to try this out yourself?
Welcome to Quake 3 Arena.
So getting this game started is actually pretty easy. Normally you just have to go to the Discord, which you can find by looking up Quake 3 VR. It's made by Team Beef and Friends. And if you have Sideloader already on your Oculus Quest for anything else, then all you have to do is sideload it into the headset. If you don't have Sideloader, it's not hard. You just have to throw the Oculus into dev mode. It takes about 2 seconds. And once you do that, you're able to put any sort of third-party apps you want on the Quest. The Quest has a huge homebrew scene, and stuff such as this is so cool. I have personally been to a couple small friend gatherings where people were planning on playing Quake. I didn't feel like loading my computer. I seriously did just show up with my Quest, and I was able to compete. And I think that's super cool. And if you're interested, if you at home looking at you, if you're interested, then you should definitely check this out. If you've got a VR headset, check out Quake. I'm pretty sure all 3 Quake games have now been fully ported to Quest. Now that I feel pretty comfortable with Quake 3 VR, I'm probably going to start doing some runs of Quake 1 VR, which is a much more traditional speed game compared to a bot arena.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's all I got. I don't normally run a lot of this game because it's a little bit complicated to get set up, but if you want to check out anything else I do, my name is Witherman. I am a world record holder and contender for multiple categories of Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. That's my primary speed game.
MG Sonic High.
And if you do like VR stuff, I run Virtual Boy Wario Land, also on the Quest 2.
You love to see it.
Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much to GQ for having me. Thank you so much, Hib, for pulling me on for this hotfix. I appreciate it a ton.
You're
And
more than welcome. I'm so glad that you were up for showing this off. I knew that you had a bit of a repertoire when it came to VR games, and thought it'd be a shame if we did not call upon your services. So yeah, thank you for showing that off. That was really impressive. I think there were a lot of people who were saying impressive in the chat during that, and yeah, I think despite how disorientating the game might be, I think a lot of people did quite enjoy that. So yeah,
well, I'm glad. I know that motion sickness is a thing with this game. But yeah, thank you so much, and you guys have a happy April Fool's Day. I mean, I hate you, I guess. After April Fools.
All right.
April Fools.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, guys, that's the end of the show. No, it isn't. I'm joking. April Fools, I got you. We have just had Quake 3, which was phenomenal. This is only the start of the show. This is me telling the truth now. Please believe me. We are going to be having some more VR action after this. We are going to be having Asuka showing off Moss, which I know of, but know very little about. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that shapes up. Oh, was that one last thing from Witherman?
Yeah. What's the final time?
Final time, I believe, was a 49:05. Yeah.
That is a 40-second world record.
Nice. And that's not an April Fool's.
No, that's not an April Fool's. It's a 40-second world record. Let's go. I knew I played that middle section well.
Also, I mean, it looked pretty clean to me, so says the guy who's never seen it before, but very impressive. GG.
And say one last goodbye to Sonic as he close out the parade.
Goodbye with them in, but also stick around, everybody. This is not a final goodbye from me. I'll be back in with Asuka showing off Moss, and Asuka's got another very interesting game coming afterwards. So please do stick around, and we will see you after this quick break. Gives you an opportunity to get up, have a little stretch if you have the capacity to do so, get hydrated, and yeah, we will be back after some nice little chill beats with some more VR action. See you in a sec, folks. Yo, folks, welcome back. This is going places, or maybe not. Maybe we're moving places and going nowhere. We saw an incredible Quake 3 run from Witherman, taking us through that game in record-breaking times. Big congratulations to them for shaving 40 seconds off their previous time. This is usually a show where we have a look at handheld released game speedruns or region exclusive games. So that has previously varied in the past from, the handheld games, the Pokemon. We had some Donkey Kong last week. If you fancy seeing that, that will be up on our YouTube. And there's a couple of highlights on our Instagram and other platforms. You can do !links, I believe, to find those. And we've also had some strange sort of oddities from around the world when it comes to the region exclusive games. But today we thought it's April the 1st. Let's just throw that book out the window. Let's have a look. Are you trying to throw that book out the window? It almost looked like it. We are going to be having some VR games as well as some, active games. So following this, we will have. I almost don't want to say it because I think that the more surprise that people will have for it, the better. But we'll also be having some Ring Fit Adventure at the end. But before that, we're going to be having Asuka 44 with Moss. What is Moss?
Hi.
And hello, Asuka.
Hi. This is a wonderful, chill, cozy, adorable speedrun by Polyarc game run. Words are hard. It's April 1st. Doesn't matter. Game by Polyarc that is just one of my favorite games to run. It's actually one of the more technical runs, but there's a cutscene that we get to sit through at the very beginning. So we are just going to get started, and then we can talk during it. So with that, we'll do a 3 count and 3, 2, 1, start. And right away, we're going to be. Thank you. Normally reading is fundamental, but it's a speed run and this is a picture book, so we're just going to kind of flip through some pages right now. But get through the plot of this. I will say it's absolutely amazing, adorable. I love it. But again, speed run. Anywho, welcome to the world of Moss. It's this gorgeous, fun little interactive world.
She'd be needed most.
Play with some leaves. Probably one of the biggest mistakes you can make at the beginning of the speedrun is not leaning over and looking at that chunk of grass right there. Because if you don't, you will not be introduced to our wonderful heroine, Quill, who is the cutest heroine in the world. Fight me on that, because look at her.
No, I can get behind that sentiment.
Well, and what's funny is if you don't look at that patch of grass, it'll just shake, and she won't come out. So you just kind of
you could just
sit there. Yeah, you effectively low-key kind of soft lock yourself. Kind of be adjusting to where I am, but it's this wonderful platformer. It's got a little action platformer. It's got a little bit of combat. The combat's more of a flavor thing. You're more focused on exploring the world. But like Quake, which was an amazing run, and Sonic is, like you said on Twitter, my favorite Doom character. This is a run in VR that is really good for people first getting into VR, because you'll see me do mostly just sitting and standing.
She was not exactly
So we just got introduced to us, the reader. We're this kind of floating entity that can interact with her world, which we are about to do when we hear the bell.
Quill had to hurry.
And now we go.
The village gates would soon close, and night would follow.
Oh, not a heck of a lot, unfortunately. I don't know how rough the interference is, or if it's completely unbearable. Yeah, not too much. I haven't quite... I could use my main microphone, but unfortunately, then I sound like I'm about 80 yards away.
The magical creatures that woke to protect the forest.
Right there.
Just a heads up, folks. We're seeing if there might be a situation where we can change the microphone, but at the moment, I'm engrossed in this game. I love it. I didn't realize that it was, reading a book. I thought, what are these sort of mystical hands, and why is anything it's sort of a half view, not a full view?
Yeah, it's you're, like I said, you're kind of this floating presence that in the realm of Moss. You're just kind of viewing everything from a first/third person indirect angle of sorts. But yeah, at the same time, in your real world, you are reading a book and kind of experiencing it as you're reading it. But what I love about this run is the cleaner and smoother the gameplay looks, the trickier things that I have done to do to make it look that clean. Because there's a lot of puzzle, pretty much the majority of the rooms have puzzles, and I'm either skipping them or skipping parts of them. Like in the next room, probably one of my least favorite ones is the waterfall or water wheel, because you have to angle yourself at just the right spot here. Okay, that's fine. Barely tap that, jump in, and otherwise, if you don't do that, you actually miss a cycle to grab on or to hop into the water wheel when she did. Now, what I'm doing right here is missing my jump, so I'll have to do that again, which is fine.
Oh no.
But you can kind of see how I interact with her world. Anything that has that kind of blue-gray look to it, I can hold on to, or I can grab or interact with. And I don't have to look at it while I'm grabbing it. So this is still kind of slowly going as I'm staring at Quill to make sure she doesn't fall. So now I kind of, that looks good. We'll shift that over a little bit. Hop over here, open that. We'll let that slide a little bit. So,
thanks to her new friend,
that's just that initial kind of sequence was you get her on there as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you have to kind of wait for another spot for her to enter the wheel and go and
She raced
get to where she needs to go.
She shared with her uncle.
Also,
Once he
that
saw her discovery,
is a mount. That is a horse. It is a squirrel, but it is a horse. We just roll with it.
Interesting hierarchy, it seems.
Right?
Ah.
So this is us in kind of the real world as we're learning the story, going through it. And I don't get to stay in that area for too long, but if you look towards the top of the screen, you'll actually see night or day turn to night. Because you're
that's a
just,
cool touch.
you're so engrossed with this book. Also, a little picture of Quill. We get introduced to the Starling, who is a troublemaker.
Nice. Oh,
Troublemaker.
okay. Maybe not so nice. It's what we need on April 1st.
Of course.
Wake up.
One of those anti-heroes of sorts. We'll call it that way. You learn more about the Starling in book 2.
Your uncle went.
I have a sequel to
I'll
this.
show you.
But right now, the Starling knows what's going on. Quill's just here. She found this really cool glowing object that's called the glass, and is just rolling with the punches because she needs to find her uncle.
Campfire stories.
And now is another fun little skip where, so the smoother I do it, the slightly trickier it actually is. So we come right here and just jump, and we're supposed to go right here and open a door. But we don't. Too much effort. This room is where I'm going to give it 3 good college tries, and if I can't pull off this jump, then we are just going to move on and play this casually. Because this is a very, very tricky jump. And, okay. Never mind, first try. Okay.
Was that first try?
That was first try. So basically, if you look at right here, there are these marked off ledges in true platformer games. You'll notice right here there's no delineation of that marking. That is not technically a ledge you can jump on. However, the casual way of going is you jump that gap. So the devs have put in a little bit of a save. So in case you miss the jump for some reason, she can latch onto it. Well, if you go from that angle, there is this little tiny lip that sticks out and makes it really hard to actually grab on that ledge from that angle. So you have to be very careful with where you're aiming. And what makes that jump so difficult, and arguably the bane of my existence in this game, is it's one thing to effectively hit like a pixel perfect jump in a YZ axis. Well, excuse me, an XY axis. Now you have to add a Z axis. So the same pixel is going to look different depending on which way you're looking at it from. Now this next jump is a little bit trickier than it should be. This is called, we don't need the third jump. Perfect. So Quill can't swim, much like myself. Shout out to that one. And just faster to not even use that third platform. We'll call it even. Here
I can relate as well. I am a very, very poor swimmer.
Right. So here we're supposed to kind of go down, follow the whole winding path, or you can just stay near the top and be done with things. That sword jump was kind of just to speed the jump as I get down there. Like that. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying with the whole XYZ axis, like I said, this sphere that I can see looks different looking at it from this angle, as opposed to that angle, as opposed to that angle. So not only am I trying to look for a specific pixel, but I have to make sure I'm consistently looking at it from the same, almost identical spot. Otherwise, I might think I'm hitting the right pixel, but in fact, I'm not. So it just adds a little bit of trickiness to the mix. Now, this damage we cannot avoid because it teaches us we can actually heal Quill. She's going to give the ASL thank you. So Quill uses ASL, and that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen a character use. What I did just there is, you'll notice before the room fully loaded, I was reaching for that statue.
Nice.
I call it fishing. basically, if you'll see me kind of go like this, I'm trying to feel a vibration in my controller. There's something there for me to grab. And it saves very, very small amounts of seconds, but the speed run, so it builds up over time.
Mm-hmm.
This little skip right here, I didn't realize that was a skip until I actually looked at the speed run and realized, oh, the vanilla method has me going over there, and I didn't realize that was a thing. This is what I call the hardest fight in the game because I have the weakest weapons, and this is the only time I will fight with the weakest weapons. So these forged enemies don't like us, they're mean. But I can actually interact with them by grabbing them, and if you hear a click, I've actually kind of stunned them and done damage. So, right, that very subtle click. There we go. That's how I know I've held on to them for long enough. So once I get the next weapon in literally the next room, those forged enemies will take 3 hits, so I don't have to re-grab usually. I just call it the hardest fight because it takes, I think, like 5 or 6 hits per enemy to take them down.
A whisper echoed through the trees.
At this point, in-game, we're meeting essentially the forest sprites who will give us this really cool-looking sword and like arm gauntlet. But again, speedrun, so we have to unfortunately skip the story. But you can also see how it's starting to get kind of dusky outside. Because we've been at this for a while, apparently. This next room, there's a statue that I'm kind of circling with that orb. I'm going to try to fish for. There he is. So I'm going to do this. And you'll see it's already moving. That's essentially me fishing for that to try to get a hold of it. And with that, we dodge a little bit of a stun by her accidentally walking into the door. And we enter the Mire Temple, which, I mean, taking a look around, actually a really cool area.
It was Quill's favorite.
There's some cool statues. You can interact with some things.
Nice.
This is the fun part where I have to slowly back up to try to find my chair. There we go.
It sounds like you've got much better bearings on where you are than poor old Witherman did in that last run.
It's taken some time. It has definitely taken some time with this game. But,
is this like your first? Was this your first venture into VR, or had you like tried with other games before?
Actually, this is my first. This is the game that got me into playing VR games. That skip right there is probably my second favorite in the game, just because you're making a jump that you really shouldn't. This room has the hardest skip in the game, and we are not doing it. We are playing the casual thing. So what I'm doing right now is killing that enemy before it spawns.
Okay.
Nope. Oh, that's mean. Alright, so we're just gonna... Nope. I'm not behaving right now, which is fine. So you see how that enemy just kind of blew up without me doing anything for it? The original world record for this from Brady Litzinger, who his run was pretty much, he did a Devs React run, and that's kind of what taught me this run. That was the original world record path using that skip. There's another skip where you just don't do that fight entirely, but the chances of me hitting it are so minuscule. Also, you don't need platforms. You don't need ledges. Ledges take too long. We're just going to parkour.
True.
So, we're just going to break that branch. And this introduces a mechanic to where we can actually pull those forged enemies over, even technically before they spawn, and have them, particularly this one, stand on a button. By doing that, the door's open. I'm going to fish for one right here. All right. So this is a little bit of a weird puzzle in that I need to kind of move around a bit. There we go. Grab you. If I'm not moving Quill around like that, she'll actually stop, kind of get locked in place, and not be able to interact until the motion's done. So it's one of those small time saves, but a time save nonetheless.
Yeah.
Now we bring this little forged enemy over. I have him sit right there, and I'm going to hold on to this one. Now, there's the very gutsy strat, which we are not doing, because it doesn't save much time. It's more of a swag strat. We'll be real here. We do it for swag. Right. There we go. So you can actually... Really? All right. Fine. I see how it is.
Rude.
So right there, what happened was I didn't let the platform raise high enough, which is fine. So I'm gonna hold on to this little dude so he doesn't attack me. I'm gonna grab that, open the door, and carry on. So you don't have to stop the platforms like that. You can just jump up, but it's one of those, if you're not perfect, you actually, you'll kill Quill. And there's only one intentional death in this game, and that sound is so sad and depressing that I only want to hear it once. This is something I don't like mentioning until we get there, because there are two fun little things that you can interact with Quill directly on in this game. And it just adds the absolute cute factor that is Quill. Right now we are going to move this friend over here, shift that over, walk her over, grab that. There we go. One of the two cool things we get to do with our friend Quill is high five her.
Oh, well. I love it.
It's just,
I love that.
There's another part much later in the game that you can actually hug her, and she kind of does that. It's like hug back, but
that's pretty sweet.
It's one of those, unfortunately, for Speedrun, we don't need to do that, so I might just do it anyway, depending on what comes at the end of my air temple. Yeah, maybe not. So, at this point, we get introduced to a new type of forge enemy that will shoot at us. They don't take 2 shots, which isn't that bad, but they also add the mechanic that I like to call Asuka cannot aim these shooter forge to literally save her life. And you'll see in an upcoming room why that is the case. So right now what I'm going to do is freeze or stun-lock that guy, bring this platform up. Nope, don't shoot at Quill. Quill can take 3 shots before she meets an untimely death. You can tell how many shots she's taken by the color of the glass in her backpack. Blue is good, orange is red is please heal her. You can do that just by essentially grabbing her and pulling up. You kind of pull the damage out of her.
Oh, interesting.
This is the shooting gallery where, again, Asuka doesn't know how to aim to save her life. So to bring this forge enemy over, there's no nice way to do this. Let's see how long it takes me to hit all these targets. Excuse you. Oh, no.
Close.
Alright.
Oh.
Oh, no, door is not open. Hey, friend. Door is open now. I was like, that platform is not coming up. I am confused.
That's an angry boy.
So, right? So what I'm doing right now is I am angling that at a very specific spot. And you'll see why once we come back here. So we'll get back to that in 1, 2, 3 rooms. This is another one where I need to aim, and there's a reason I don't appear on aimbot. I can't aim. So we'll bring her back over. We are going to boop that. So we have access to that. We're going to swing this over. Yeah, and the thing is to optimize this speed run, it's knowing what else to interact with while you're doing stuff with Quill.
Yeah.
And being able to interact with those things while you're effectively not looking at them.
One thing I always like asking when having different runs on the show is I mean, most people played the games in their games in a casual capacity. How I imagine this is the sort of game that you could spend a lot of time on in your first casual playthrough.
Oh, absolutely. Like the main playthrough I have on this is about 30 or so hours. Ooh, I skipped the jump. Nice. Yeah, it's just there's so much to explore, so much to see and do. There's a whole area where you can get this really super strong armor. Everyone, I'm sorry for that sound, but that is the only intentional death in the game because it warps us back up there.
Oh, could you?
I know. It's sad. I get it. I know. I'm sorry, Quill. Please forgive. But it's faster. And I have to for the speedrun.
This
but
is
yeah,
so sad.
I know. Rip. But that right there is why I kept that platform there. So I could just kind of boop, boop. But at this point, this is where we talk about why this speedrun, as much as I love it, is terrifying. There is a 50-50 shot of the run either continuing or dying in the next room. And Hypnotics, I am giving you the power to make that decision. I either have to fight 3 waves, 4 waves, potentially 5 waves. The 50-50 is I need to figure out which platform is going to raise first. There's no way to manipulate it. It's a 50-50. So my question to you before we start is left or right?
Left.
All right. We're gonna go left. Everyone direct.
Please. I really want to help you out here.
It's fine. Basically, that platform's going to go down. The first wave is going to come out. And one of these 2 are going to raise up. I'm going to bring this guy over. Since we're going
you
to the
weren't
left.
lying. That is a cool sword as well.
Right? No, you come back here. All right. Yes!
Is that good?
You did it! You did it!
Yo! Let's go!
The run continues!
Maybe I should run this game.
Right? Always looking for more people in this run. But yeah, at that point, and the reason why it's so important that we get that 50-50 right, is I now know, because this is wave 2, the very next platform is going to be the right platform. Otherwise, it is a guess. Like, it just stays 50-50. Brendo? No. You come over here. Nope, you still come over here. I don't want to miss the platform. Now that one's going to raise up, since we know the left one went up first. And we have, as we like to say, a live run.
Let's go.
All because of Hypnotics.
I'm not going to take too much credit. All right. I just, I'm just sitting here having a good time. I'm happy enough.
It's just one of those things where it's like, when I've run this in marathons and whatnot, it is literally I literally have no control over this, so I usually ask the host or any commentator I'm playing this alongside, because I can't control it.
Yeah, fair enough. How well has the luck ran for you and subsequently your commentators / hosts? Have they generally done a good job?
Actually, no, they haven't. So you are my good luck charm.
And the one day, April Fool's, the one day that your luck changes, incredible.
It just was, of course.
Does that. Yeah.
It's also kind of terrifying that the April Fool's joke is, oh no, you actually you did the correct one.
I really hope that it isn't just an April Fool's thing and that it does actually happen for you again, and it's not just
And what's so funny about this is if you reset the checkpoint, it might not be the left side again. Like, it's not even locked into a playthrough. It is a literal coin flip every time you do that fight. And you just kind of sit back and go, all right, let's pick one. And it doesn't like back and forth or anything. I've had runs where it's like 4 or 5 times left or just a couple times right, and it would bounce back and forth. It's just, you just roll with it.
Incredible.
But
this looks really pretty.
Well, the moodiest mood that has ever added me in a video game as hard as it does is coming up. And this is a shout out to anybody that has had to wake up to an alarm that does not want to wake up to alarms for whatever reason. Also,
Ooh.
while I'm flipping pages, it's nighttime. Pretty. Yeah. It's like the first time I noticed that while playing this. Yeah, it's like, I love that it's a standalone for the Quest. You can play it on Index, increases the graphics. It looks so amazing no matter what you play it on. But first,
oh no.
When she wakes up, right there, that is a mood.
Bless
It's
her.
just, I saw it, I'm like, wow, I just got added by a mouse.
She's like me for real.
Right? Like, oh yes, this is me. I appreciate. Alright, let's bring these platforms down because I will need to.
I wonder if the developers were projecting. They were like, "This is how I feel right now. Let's just program it in."
And like all of us, like, yes, big same. So at this point, we are entering what's called the impassable mines, and as you will see very quickly. Oops, nope, not yet. No, rune.
Oh.
All right. You will see very quickly that they are, in fact, yes, I know, Quill. You can hop up right there, I promise. You'll see that they are, in fact, very passable. Bring that back down. This also has my favorite skip in the game, because casually it is probably the coolest puzzle in the game. And you look at that puzzle and go, no, I'm good. We're not going to do that puzzle at all. Right, 1, 2. Break some boxes. We get an exploder enemy that we don't really need to do much with. But these enemies will self-detonate. If you hear that clicking sound and you hold them for long enough. So for this first phase of the fight, I literally don't have to do anything. Just kind of sits there.
Oh, that's handy.
I can break some boxes. Why not? That's going to blow up now, but still, same thing. Pull this one out. Now, this one I actually have to do damage to. Pull that dude-reno. Damage this dude-reno. Let's bring this one around so I don't get hit by that explosion. And also, what's nice is any damage that Quill takes in a room is immediately healed when you go into the next room. So, again, it's more about the exploration, the enjoyment, and the combat is kind of like a secondary awesomeness to this game. Now here, we're going to try to do a cool skip that I don't really need to worry about too much. It's one of those, if I hit it, I hit it. If I don't hit it, I don't hit it. Because the other thing with this speedrun is it's very easy, yep, there it is, to get into casually because the backup routes are all play it vanilla. Now here is the coolest puzzle in the game that you are never going to see. The only requirement is you need to take this exploder right there, let it blow up a wall, and just die. Not die,
again.
that's RNG. That's RNG manipulation, it's fine. Not really, but we'll roll with it. Alright, that platform is still there, which is fine. So we're still going to blow up that little forged. We're going to miss this one because...
Nice.
There we go. Alright.
Hey.
So the gist of this puzzle is you're supposed to take that forged enemy up these series of platforms up to this and blow up each subsequent area or wall to get Quill up through the platforms to pull the lever. What we do is say, no, that's fine. We're not going to do this puzzle. We're just going to jump on a ledge that's not really a platform and not do any of it. So that is the impassable part of the impassable mines. But for our efforts, we do get rewarded with the second of 2 wonderful high fives.
Let's go.
The highest of 5s.
Awesome.
And with that already, we're entering the city. Now, the next 2 rooms are easily the scariest rooms. The skips that I'm doing are terrifying. The first one's a little bit easier than the second room. We're avoiding these giant sentinels. The second room, there's actually 2 skips I have to do that are very tight. So this is called I Get Somewhat Quiet. Because this is when panic mode kicks in. Again, if they fail, you can do them casually. That's fine. But we're going to try to keep this run going fairly well. And skip these sentinels. Also, say hi to the sentinel. Sentinel number 1. This one pretty much requires the use of a ledge that is not a ledge, or not a walkway, and we were going to walk on it. If I can jump onto it. There we go. All right.
Nice. I like how she sort of shuffles along when, making the intricate movements along the small bit of collision.
All right, we do that. That
Shuffling.
Should be fine. All right.
Nice.
Easier of the 2 done. Now is the terrifying room. This is arguably more terrifying than the coin flip. So this is where I'm gonna get really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, missed the dash, just a hair. That's fine. Second verse, same as the first. I'm getting a little too close to the ledge right there, which is fine. I know how to correct. Because what makes this so scary is once I do that, the second skip, if I don't get to a certain spot, I'd have to do it all again. And at that point, it gets grumbly. Really? I disagree with that. But you can see how absolutely tight it is to get, even though she was behind that wall, it's one of those, I'm still going to hit the tip of her tail. Just for the sake of April Fools that it's actually doing. There we go. Okay, first one done. There we go. Okay.
Hey.
Now I just have to be careful of that. Okay. So yeah, that is very scary. And it's one of those, even the amount of times I had to redo that just then, it's still a rough time save. At that point, if I would have died again, vanilla would have been maybe a hair faster. Mm-hmm. But it's still the fact that I was able to get the second skip on the first try. It's all good. So here we're going to find out.
Durin was back.
We can't go that way yet.
You took long enough.
Go back.
I found your uncle, but the Master Sentry's been activated. I'm trying to
that
sort it out.
Master Sentry is a butt, and you'll find out why later. So right now we're going to go back and do 2 puzzles. First is kind of a casual puzzle, but it's actually a fun one once you realize what you're doing. I like how to do it. Second one is the only actually visible clip in the game.
Ooh. I'm listening.
But you'll have to wait for that one.
Okay.
Now,
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
the final episode of Oscar needs to learn how to shoot properly, which so far so good. Okay,
Nice.
bring this little buddy over here. Now grab that. We're going to hit that. And as this Deuterino is coming over, we are going to shoot that. It's actually really hard to keep Quill going in a straight line while you're controlling something else, as I have found out. Like, you'll just see Quill randomly wander off. It's because I'm definitely not looking at her at the time. Also, for all these stained glass pictures, that one's my favorite because you don't realize it's actually there.
Wow.
So shout out to the Fat Friar.
What a cool looking guy.
Right? Now, we have our first puzzle piece. At this point, Quill is going to get caught on a little bit of an environment. And we are going to head to Train Skip, which is the one clip in the game. The one visual clip in the game. See if I can drop that off really quickly. All right. Now this is one of those Z-axis things where I am paying attention to where I'm putting Quill's right foot. There it is. Perfect. First try.
Nice.
So, that is a whole other puzzle that incorporates this whole area that we just said, now we're good. We're just going to skip it. Don't need it. With that, we are going to grab the second puzzle piece. In the meantime, celebratory confetti. I just like doing that every time I hit train skip.
Got to turn on the style a little bit.
Right? That is a swag clip. It's one of those, the first time you do it, you're just like, yeah, I did that. But it's another one of those, how that works is Quill will attack in the last direction that you moved the analog stick. So if you position her the right way and just, or back or facing away from the target, and then you barely touch right on the joystick, the game will know to actually target behind her, but she won't go forward. And that going forward, or that prevention of her going forward, is what essentially allows her to clip through the ceiling and into a hanging position. So,
Clear, kid. Adurin affirmed.
now the last kind of three-phase fight. Obligatory statement for those that are sensitive to flashing effects. It's not for a few minutes, but there is going to be a very bright flash. There is nothing I can do to avoid it. I will give you about 10 to 15 seconds before it starts to let you know to look away, and then I will let you know when it is safe to look back. But yeah, this is a situation of being able to control everybody while not quite looking at them. Yeah, that guy, bring him over, along with Quill. Let that guy blow up on his own. Get hit, which is rude. Alright, alright. Phase 1 is done.
Nice.
I'm going to heal her really quickly. And get ready to pull this guy. You can blow up. You can take damage. Come on. Bring you over. You can detonate. Good, you took damage from that. You come over here. Nope. Dude. Alright. You can walk over there. I see you trying to shoot me. Rude. So rude. No, I'm not letting you shoot me. You can actually use those enemies to target Other enemies?
Oh,
Yes, I know. I'm getting to you. Hold your horses. All right, now phase 3. But it's one of those, I just don't. Okay, you're there. You're there. You can hop up here. I'm going to swag jump up this because I can. Perfect. You can go back there. You can come over here. Actually, yeah, I'll bring you over here. All right. Actually, let's see if I can hit from a distance. Nope. Again, in today's episode of Oscar Can't Aim. It's alright. I didn't give him the instruction manual beforehand. It's fine. All right. So, at this point, the flashing is going to occur after I open this grate. So again, if bright lights or bright flashes are an issue, please look away. Now. Please look away now. And this is why you're a butt, Sentinel. You're the reason I have to warn people.
Oh, yeah, that is... Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
That was a bright flash.
It's one of those... Yeah, it's one of those in a VR headset. There's really not much. Even closing my eyes, it's like, hello. It is safe to look back onto the screen. The flash is in fact done. Hi, I'm still here. Hopefully I'm still facing that way. Hopefully. All right. So at this point, it looks all is sad and tragic and lost, but it's Quill, and this is Moss. No. All is not sad and tragic and lost.
A terrible mistake.
But at this point, soon we will be introduced to the true arch nemesis and villain and final boss of this game. Because if you're a mouse, there's some specific animals that are kind of not high on a mouse's friend list. So I'm kind of looking at her, just kind of enjoying things. I'm actively not looking over there for a reason. So,
okay.
A mouse's arch nemesis, which you might hear slithering, in this case, Quill's arch nemesis is Sarfog. A giant heckin' snake.
Oh my gosh, that is... I was not expecting something that big. Wow.
Also, the saddest image in the entire book is about to hit you in the feels right there. So we're just going to switch off that page right now. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, like Quill, no, my heart, please. I can't. I was not expecting feels today. But Starling did, in fact, take care of Sarfog temporarily for us. Unfortunately, we are now on our own for the remainder of the run. Now, the Ascent, as I like to call it, is... I don't know how, but I think I have found every single way to die in the Ascent. Not intentionally, I swear. But for some reason, I am very good at finding all the deaths in the Ascent.
Oh.
You'll see shortly. In the very next, starting with the very next one, because this is endgame. Just like we have a random crossbow here that I can randomly activate for no random reason, and Quill's going to randomly come over here and make sure that the random crossbow randomly works. Which it does, which is fine. But it's a good thing she checked, because sure, lo and behold, Sarfog says hi. And in true video game format, this is when the narrator would say, Quill survives this. Because that was a big heckin' fall. At this point, now we are trying to get back to Sarfog and figure out how the heck we are going to deal with a snake that's trying to kill us. I'm going to try to skip this shutter. Okay. All right. Starting now is when I'm very good at finding all the ways to die. Like, this is 1,000 Ways to Die by Quillen, or Moss edition. Like, right now I'm going to die. Probably. Actually, maybe not. Ooh. No. Starfog. We talked about this. I tried to pay you off, I swear. Like, right now, there's a piece of rock that will tick up that has killed me. So I am willing to sacrifice a second or two to stay back. So I'm just looking at it going, how? How did, what? Who? No.
Thank you, video games.
Case in point. That right there. All right, we've got our death. We're gonna carry on. It's like, I'm glad that's out of the way.
The anticipation is you can relax a bit now.
Right? Nope. Yep.
Oh no.
We talked about this. Starfog. So rude. Yeah, I think what happened there was I didn't stall a little bit right here. There we go. Quill, I saw you almost not grab that, and we were going to have a conversation when we got home. I was about to say, All right, you can dash over this ledge, but you know what? Let's keep this chill, shall we? All right, Starfog, say hi. Thank you. Moving on. I love this dodge roll, this parkour roll. Okay, the final room I can die in. Let's see how many times I die in it. We're just going to call it RNG minute. It's fine.
Yeah.
Ooh. I skipped that jump. Okay. Ooh. I have died to that fireball. I'm kind of surprised I didn't. Thank you, game. All right, with that, we're going to help Quill out. And Starfog is going to be a little dead. Right? Okay, maybe. Fine, come back. So Quill, being the absolute greatest heroine of all time, is going to do that and leave 1 HP left on Starfog. Because that is not how you kill a snake in style. That is how you kill a snake in style.
Yo.
I love that little doot. Like, yep, okay, now we've killed the snake.
A little bit of sass.
Oh, absolutely. Quill ain't got time for snakes. But with that, we are in the final area. In this wonderful castle, and time will be coming up as soon as we fade to black in this room. So with that and one final look at some awesome, majestic mice and squirrels, I say time.
GG.
And that is Moss, book 1. It does have a sequel. That's the speedrun, I think, is now sub 2 hours at this point. I'm actually curious.
So a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's a bit longer. The world is absolutely amazing. They've done such a great job, or Polyarc has done such a great job building this beautiful, gorgeous world that I love living in. I'm curious, actually, what is my time?
On our end, that looked like a 49:08.
I'll take it. Yeah,
it was underestimate, so
with those little deaths. Yeah, those little deaths, the Sentinel issues, that's fine. Shout out to, again, Brady Litzinger, who has the world record, who had the greatest luck. As Quill saying right there. Thank you. But I will say, while we're listening to some beautiful music, I do have an Easter egg to show. Now, we're in a library with all these books. And a lot of times when you're a kid, you're chewing gum or you're chewing some piece of candy, and the teacher or librarian comes over and tells you to spit that candy out or spit that gum out. What do some kids tend to do with that gum?
Oh, I mean, we don't want to say it, do we? But lingers underneath desks or
It just might
chairs.
do that. So let's see.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let me face this way. Sure enough,
Oh, hey.
the devs say hi. Also, I would like to point out oh, that's a dog. Hi, Freya. Freya. Oh, dog. Shout out to everybody old enough that has drawn that S in their notebooks, myself included.
Amen.
Oh.
Amen.
But yeah, that is a shout out to the devs that say hi. That is also in Moss Book 2. The hardest part of this speedrun is, again, me trying to find my chair as I'm avoiding dog percent. Ugh.
I'm having a really good inside look at that desk and book.
Right? See if I can keep it hovered right there. So yeah, that is
Awesome.
Moss Book 1. I hope you all enjoyed. It's an absolutely fantastic speedrun. It's a great VR speedrun to get into. You saw there's not a lot of like moving around in motion, but it's a surprisingly technical run that has some really cool tricks to it, some fun skips, and it's just a beautiful game. So shout out to the Polyarch devs, to everybody that plays this. Please pick it up. It's amazing. And thank you so much for allowing me to play this on Hotfix. It's really nice to see this get some love. So
No, thank you for showing it off. Yeah, I think there was some love for that in the chat. And if anybody's got some VR equipment kicking around and they might be interested in this game, where should they be looking?
We do have a leaderboards on speedrun.com for Moss. I believe Moss Book 2 has one as well. The Polyarch game or at Polyarch Games on Twitter, they're super, super friendly. They can point you in the direction. Actually, they're testing a new, fun, cool game. So please check them out. They're super supportive of the speedrun. They have some people on their team that also speedrun this. So it's fantastic hearing just the excitement from them doing this.
But you love to hear it.
Yeah, they're cool. And yeah, I'll probably do my own little shout outs after that next game that we're not going to, I guess we're not talking about. We're just going to drop on people.
Drop on people. Well, I think, I'm sure we can keep people enticed by saying it involves an everyday item as the controlling meta for the game.
Yes.
So unconventional is what I'd certainly say, but it's going to be very, very fun to look forward to. But yes, everybody. Asuka, are you currently running this game at the moment? If people, drop by on Twitch and found you?
I'm actually looking to get back into streaming a lot more. I really want to work on my time for this. I think my current PD is in the 47 and change. Current world record's about 42. So I want to do this more. I do a lot of randomizers. I do silly games and fun games like the next one. But yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/Oscar424 and enjoy some fun games that you might not normally see people play. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing that off. It's definitely a fun game, and it seems like one that you love quite a bit, which is always nice. I know a lot of runners who will just be like, oh yeah, I'll show off this game, but there's not, the emotion behind it. And yeah, that looks like it's been a labor of love.
It is an absolute treat to play this game and to show it. So, but I think it's time that I go and...
Indeed. Everybody, we're going to have a slightly longer setup time for the next one. As Azuka's got to get up and put the VR away and get ready for this game that's going to be on the Nintendo Switch. That's all that we're going to say about that. But yes, we're going to be having a little break. This gives you a good opportunity to I mean, we've been seeing some VR action. We've been seeing it happen live. If you fancy, getting up, having a little stretch yourself, ain't no bad thing. You can try and copy what Asuka was doing earlier on in this run, and stay hydrated. If you've got any meds that you need to take, you can take your meds. And we will be back. Yeah, after a slightly longer break, we are going to be playing some music in the intermission, and just a reminder that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ channel help support Games Done Quick hotfixes. So please consider subscribing if you are enjoying this content and the daily speedrun content that we provide. We will see you in a little while, and we will have some very interesting gameplay. See you in a second, folks.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Going Places. I just heard from Asuka that this is apparently the most technical run that she knows, hence why I'm struggling to keep it together, but I'm very much looking forward to this. The reason we didn't want to tell you too much about it is because look at it. Look at what we have for you. When I was looking for doing this funny, little spin-off Going Places with, odd motion controls, a little bit of VR, Asuka was quite quick to pop up and say, "Oh yeah, I run Moss," and a little bit of, I put this tweet out a while ago, and then a little bit of time later, I got a DM saying, "Oh hi, I've done a run of this too. I don't know if this is the sort of thing you're looking for." And as soon as I saw it, I was just like, "Yes, we need this. This is a must. We need to have this on the channel." So, lo and behold, here we are.
Paper.
Give me toilet paper. Asuka, what have you roped me into here?
So this is a game. This is actually a fun game, and as I said, this is actually probably the most technical run that I speedrun. And it is a hoot. But the thing is, it's played with. I've got my Joy-Cons, and I've got my tissue paper, and I've got my toilet paper, because you play with the Joy-Con and the toilet paper. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to believe me. You believe the game. The game is going to tell you to take one of your Joy-Cons
Oh my
and
gosh.
put it in a roll of toilet paper. So we are going to prepare our roll of toilet paper by putting one of the Joy-Cons in there, taking our first tissue, stuffing it in, and then we're going to take our second tissue and also stuffing that in. The rest, that's all good. We always do it at the fastest. We're gonna. Right,
Whilst we're here and sorting that out, we are joined by somebody else who's also, I believe, mad enough to, let alone know about this game, but also to have played this game. Neobari, hello.
Hello, how's it going?
I am thoroughly looking forward to what's going on here.
Right.
I assume we've started.
Oh no, not yet. It's one of those. If I don't if I wanted to show the beginning part so you can see, yes, no, you put your Joy-Con into a roll of toilet paper. I don't want to skip that. You lose a lot of the flavor of the game.
Ooh.
But at this point, yeah, it is. It is a 32-room puzzle of toilet paper. So if everyone's ready to go to watch some silliness, please, by all means.
I don't think I'll be any more ready than I am right now.
All right, perfect. So in that case, we will do a 3 count. I'm going to move my mouse out of the way just so I don't start hitting things with my toilet paper. We're going to bring this down so you can actually see me play, which is kind of important. And then we are going to go 3, 2, 1, start.
Good luck.
Thank you. And the point of this is this gentleman does not have toilet paper. So
He's so happy.
Us being a very nice roll of toilet paper, we are going to deliver ourselves and help this gentleman out. But there were things trying to, murder us, like saw blades. And you can see why you put the Joy-Con into the roll of toilet paper. I am actually using a toilet paper controller at this point.
Right, you can play this without it, but you don't get the same type of experience.
Right. So here...
The other thing to... Yeah, go ahead.
We are going to try to skip... There we go. Had to skip a cycle there right quick. Continue on.
Yes, the thing to notice is that when you start the game actually gives you one more thing that you're supposed to be playing with. And that's a piece of cardboard because you're supposed to use it as a tilt board. So if you can imagine, instead of controlling this with your hand, you're supposed to be controlling this with a tilt board going back and forth, which makes this game dramatically more difficult.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We're going to skip through that. And then, whoop. Now, what makes this so technical is you actually don't really want to bounce too often because it slows you down. But in the meantime, I have some time. So how's everyone doing? Are you hydrated? You good?
Oh, absolutely.
I think I'm hydrated. Yeah.
Just making sure.
This is the easiest UFO catcher game in existence.
Right? All right. So this is the room where I like to try to swag a little bit. Let's see if I can pull this off. Almost a full swag. Almost. We still had a little bounce at the end. Bouncing is slow, so we try not to bounce too much, but it's okay. Lasers.
And getting hit by the lasers fries your toilet paper.
Yeah. Burnt toilet paper does not feel good.
No, not at all.
Just be honest on that one. This is these wobble bars. There's no way to make them faster. You just kind of deal with it. Let's see if I can. Ooh.
Right. So they are. You will be on them for a certain amount of time before you fall off. So it doesn't matter whether you wiggle back and forth. You will eventually fall off after about 2 seconds.
Yes. Now here we just kind of find the keys, and I wait, and boop boop.
Nice.
And then drop off the key, because as you can tell, toilet paper has a gravitational orbit and can hold on to keys.
Oh, yeah.
It makes perfect sense. It also, we get to think with portals. I mean, we're hitting all the genres here with our little roll of toilet paper. Let's real talk.
And for those of you who are wondering, how do you keep track of where the toilet paper is supposed to be? If you look at that white bar at the top, that's actually showing you where the game thinks the toilet paper actually is.
Yes. All right, let's... I did not... Ooh, really?
Ooh.
Rude.
That's tough.
So what's interesting about this is there's... The cycles do not reset upon death. So like that room where I kind of just tried to fit my hand or my head under everything, if I would have messed that up, then hold on, there we go. All right,
Nice.
I wouldn't have been able to do that because the cycle wouldn't have reset, and then I just would have had to like deal. This room has a really nice pattern to it. It kind of just works out perfectly. And up the stairs, because toilet paper rolls can climb stairs. It's fine. This room is very terrifying, I'll put it that way.
Oh, this trying this on a balance board was absolutely a nightmare.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I bet. I will not. That just no. That room's scary. That room's scary on hand percent.
I'm trying to think of like the strangest games that Going Places has had. We've had a game about a sentient flying shoe, and I think that only that is sort of up there with this sort of thing.
Right. Now here we're just gonna do a quick bounce to let those evil toilet paper rolls that have spikes and are channeling their inner like spiky phase.
I would most certainly not want to use any other toilet roll other than the than the one that you're controlling. Certainly.
Right? Yeah, that is like spike ply. For the record, I'm using a very comfortable textured 2-ply. It gives me good grip.
I would love if there was a meta for like different versions of ply.
Right?
So there is something
gosh,
to
don't
note. There absolutely is something to note here. Is you want as round of toilet paper as you can get.
Yes.
Because when I first played this, the bunch of the sides of mine were kind of pushed in, so it was like playing with a D6 that's fluffy.
Oof.
Which is absolutely terrible when you're trying to roll it around. So important.
Also, this is my favorite
Fully
round
rounded.
swaggin'. There we go. But yeah, it's 32 rooms. This room gives me nightmares for situations like that. You want to be as close as possible to things, and unfortunately it decided to burn my roll, which is fine, because I can do this, sneak through. There we go. Woo! Actually, I don't think I need to hit that switch, but we'll
better
play.
Safe than sorry there, yeah.
And boop. Yeah, we'll go that way.
It's interesting. We've got a lot of people asking questions about why, our man that is at the bottom here is sitting underneath all these blades. I wonder what you have to do to find yourself in such a precarious position.
Yeah, there was somebody that, those escape rooms these days are really weird. This room is a lot scarier it looks a lot scarier than it is, because it looks like you're going to get hit by that laser, and it's like, nope, you just bounce right there, you're fine. But we're actually getting kind of close to the end, so if you want to tell them about how we came about to this speed run.
Oof. Oh, absolutely. So I found out about this just through Nintendo's Twitter to be like, we've got this new game. It's called Give Me Toilet Paper. And when I saw this, the only thing I could think of is I need to send this to Asuka.
Right?
Because this is absolutely up her alley in terms of its weirdness, but it's genuine fun.
Nope.
And so how long did it take from me sending you the message about this game to you actually running it?
Instantaneously, and then within 24 hours, I submitted a board to speedrun.com, and then within 48 hours, I had submitted this test GDQ. This game came out, so was it March 3rd?
Yeah, March 3rd. Of this year.
Yeah, this year.
Less than a month ago.
Wow.
It's just, this game is so fun. Also, this room I hate. Whoop! Because that slide to the left is so scary. I don't like it.
Nicely done, though. Nicely done.
Thank you. This one, I have to eventually catch up to that spike roll, and then I have to do another scary sneak past the spike roll on this next area. Boop. No, my elevator.
Hey.
Not yours. All right, now at this point, deja vu. Da, 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 da. There we go.
Nice.
Yes, and for those asking in chat, yes, it is absolutely a Joy-Con inside of the toilet paper roll. That is how you need to play this game.
Yes. Well, no. Okay, so these spiked rolls, I'm pretty sure that they are sentient.
Oh no!
Rude. That's fine. It's like it knows. There we go. And boop. Perfect. Yeah, they will follow you. They know. They also know I should hit the A button on the other Joy-Con. That's kind of important. All right, we're just going to skip over that. Let myself not. Oh, rude.
Oh.
It's like, so what makes this so technical is the skips that I'm trying to do can be very scary. And it's very, very tightly timed. So when you can hit it or hit them, they're pretty amazing. But otherwise, it's like, this is fine. But unfortunately, we are on our last level because all of this has been fun, but now it gets serious. So
what's happened to the guy?
We've been helping our friend do number 2, but now we must, literally save their lives by saying time. Because at this point, the door we unlocked was actually the door to save him because everything's on fire. I guess we've been going so quickly. It's just kind of one of those things. But
yeah,
but it's okay because now that we've supplied the toilet paper and we were able to open the door for our wonderful friend, he now has a roll of toilet paper.
The happy ending.
It's a happy ending.
It's very much a happy ending.
It is ending number 2. Happy ending.
Oh.
To answer, but yes, chat. This is how I've been playing with this roll of toilet paper. Obligatory shout out to the. That's it. That is all of the. It is not credits, mind you. It is credit.
Oh wow! Really, just two.
It's just one person made the song and one person made the game.
Incredible. Well, full plaudits to those people. Wow.
Yeah, there's 3 different categories we put together. This is hand percent, where you have it's a combination of the most authentic feel for the game, and you can do some pretty cool technical tricks. There's roll percent, which is said you have it on a surface and you're balancing kind of like an old labyrinth like wooden game. And then there's I called it no TP percent, which is you're effectively just holding your Joy-Con and twisting it in accordance to that. So it's honestly, if you have a Nintendo Switch, please check this game out. It is so fun to play. It is, the more you start practicing it from a speedrun sense, the more technical you realize how many of those things are. And it's one of those things you want to hit, or one of those runs where if you want to hit those really, really cool tricks, things happen like lasers, like spike balls, but it's so fun and so rewarding. And I love this game so much. Because I get to say, this is my controller. Toilet paper, a Joy-Con, and 2 tissues.
Phenomenal stuff. I before we say our goodbyes, I did just see somebody in chat saying, if this gets into SGDQ, there needs to be a bid war for the brand used to play.
Yeah, this is the hashtag not sponsored textured 2-ply, and I recommend getting a new roll of toilet paper for each new actual marathon appearance, because you start wearing down your controller, and you don't want the toilet paper to come apart. World record on this is 9 flat, roughly 9 flat. I'm at about a 922 right now. It's like I said, this is a very technical but still so rewarding run. And if you want to say I play a game with a roll of toilet paper, please do. I love this game.
Well, thank you so much, you two. If people are interested in playing this game, where should they find the appropriate resources, as well as at their local supermarket?
Again, we do have a speedrun.com leaderboard. Check it out. It's still in its fledgling stages. The current world record holder found a potential skip that we need to investigate further on, which is going to be pretty cool. But check it out. It's a fledgling group. Please, it's fun.
The game is a month old.
It's
people,
a month
so
old.
There is plenty of room for improvements here.
It's fun. Please check it out. Please join us. Yes, this will be used later on. In addition to being a controller. But otherwise, again, twitch.tv/Oscar424. I do kind of want to grind this game out and be a little bit, shave off some seconds for my TPPB. This game will also crack you up, believe me.
Oh no, you did not go there. You did not say that. Don't act like you didn't mean to say that. That's no way.
Oh look, there's a distraction on the wall.
Right, I think the toilet humor from this could go on forever if we're not careful. But that was phenomenal. I'm so happy that we got this on. Thank you so much for running that, everybody. We are going to have another intermission, and then we've got our final game of this very odd. Going places, moving places, going nowhere, really. We're going to be having Verxel with some Ring Fit. I was about to say Wii Fit. Not quite. Ring Fit Adventure. Ring Fit Adventure? I think that's it. Anyway.
Yeah, yes. Ring Fit Adventure.
Thank you. You guys can take my job if you want. You're welcome to. We will be back after a quick intermission, and then we'll be having Think Fast after this. That is going to be showing off the Ocarina of Time. No, it's going to be, Ocarina of Time Rando, I believe. So, definitely check that out. But we are going to bounce for a little bit. We will be back with Ring Fit.
We're going to roll out.
Oh no! Right, quick, send us away, Ray. This could go on forever. Bye, folks. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Games Done Quick hotfix. These are little shows that we do in between our main 2 charity events every year, and I mean, anything can happen on these. These are a range of different things. After this, we're going to be having a quiz show type speedrun thing called Think Fast. I think it's better when the hosts for that explain what's going on with that, but definitely worth your time. But hotfix stuff goes on all the time, and we've got hotfix stuff happening right now. We have had a very interesting episode of Going Places. Usually we have a look at games that are built with handheld consoles in mind, and we also have a look at region exclusives. Now we sort of put that to the side a little bit. There are some things that are, I guess you could call VR headsets, handheld consoles, but you put them on your head instead, and that's kind of mobile, but we're talking semantics at this point. And this is April Fool's. Rules do not matter. So we are going to be having Virxel showing off Ring Fit Adventure. We wanted to get some more movement going. We've had some great VR games. We've been rolling some toilet roll as well. And I feel like this is obviously, the next evolution of what this show is going to be showing off. So Virxel, hello. What's up with this?
So this is Ring Fit Adventure. It is an exercise game on the Nintendo Switch that is a lot more expansive than it has any right to be. I will be doing a category called Beat World 2 Any Intensity Restricted. To explain that category a little bit, any intensity is referring to a difficulty modifier. I will bring that up in a menu right now. It ranges on a scale of 1 to 30. That determines how many reps of an exercise you have to do whenever you are doing exercises and some of the general difficulty. So we want to go as fast as possible. We do it on 1. There is an alternative for intensity 30 speedruns where it is significantly more intense of a workout and has completely different routing because of some of the changes in the exercises. The other part of the category name is called Restricted. It used to be called Intended. For this, it means that we have to be doing the exercises as close to intended as possible. Generally, the runs require some sort of body cam to show that you're doing the exercises. There's also settings here. This ring con calibration is as low as the category will allow me to go at 40. The leg strap settings, I will go ahead and set up really quick. Essentially, this is going to be determining how fast I need to run in person in order to move in the game. And as a general rule, I just need to go as fast as this guy's going in the little picture. So I'm currently going at a bit of a light jog. And then they want to go ahead and have a bit of a faster jog. And this is worked into the estimate, though it's not part of the timed run, because it is required to show for generally every run for the game.
Oh, nice.
In addition, there are accessibility settings. If you want to do the speed run and you don't think that you can do the exercises quite as well, you can turn on these assists. You just have to do it on the unrestricted category. And the reason that's called restricted instead of intended nowadays is because there are also wrong warps, essentially, in certain levels where you can take invalid exits. So none of those are allowed in this category, though I don't think there are any of them in the first 2 worlds yet. So I scroll through the settings to go ahead and show that off real quick. One last thing I will also show is that the ring has a voice setting. The text boxes in this game actually go based off of how long it takes the ring to finish his dialogue. So the fastest voice is masculine Chinese. So if you're wondering why all of the dialogue sounds weird, it's because it's literally Chinese.
There we go.
So to start the game off, there is a 6-minute unskippable cutscene that you must interact with. So because of that, the rules are that we don't worry about that at all. We have a save file set up at the very start of the game, and we just go ahead and time it based off of first map movement.
Awesome. Well, we are ready when you are.
All right, so I'll go ahead and count us down. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. And so there's a little bit of mashing here. Now we've got a little bit of an idyllic cutscene that's going to play, and then we'll get into the first skip of the game. There's a little bit of a warm-up exercise your character does at the start of every level, but if you just mash the ring, it goes ahead and skips that. Just like that. You will also notice that I am pressing the ring repeatedly. This is for any category except for Beat World 1. You want to match this ring as much as possible, because every time you match it, you earn a little bit of experience. And there are 3 experience thresholds that you really want to meet for this run. If I were doing world record strategies, I would actually only worry about the first 2 thresholds, but the 3rd threshold is required in order for the run to not completely die.
Wow, I know it's only early days, but I'm thoroughly impressed that you're running, well, jogging as well as commentating. I'm very impressed.
And then here we have stairs where you have to go ahead and do knee lifts in order to go up them. You can do a little bit of a skip in order to go up the stairs faster, but I want the experience from the knee lifts, so I go ahead and take it slow. Gotta go slow to go fast.
Amen.
There are also these little experience medals I'm collecting. Those worth a ton of experience. On longer categories, people will actually replay the early levels repeatedly just in order to earn a ton of experience in World 1 before you go into any of the later stages.
Okay.
So here we go ahead and get to the end of the first level. So when asked, I do a victory pose where I go ahead and squat down and then stand back up with the ring over my head.
Oh, way. Nice.
Then I have to make sure that I am mashing in here in order to skip. So I did 474 presses, which is actually pretty solid in my opinion. Ideally, I would hit closer to 500, but that's excellent with commentary. The goal is to hit level 3 before encountering the first enemy, which I should be able to do.
Nice.
So, I mentioned enemies. This is a turn-based RPG, believe it or not. And we'll be getting into our first encounter, starting in this stage.
No way.
So again, my next experience threshold is before the first boss. I want to hit level 5. I will probably be hitting that level 5 right before I get to the boss. Now you may notice I'm only level 2. I mentioned 3 before the first enemy. We have this little experience medal. And there we go, I'm level 3. That will save about 5 seconds on this first fight.
Nice.
So I like to call this enemy the water ring, because here I am just mashing X the entire time. I can take some time to catch my breath and take a drink of water.
I was about to say, it's nice that there are moments of respite in this game, because it could just be, you know, full on for the whole 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now I continue to smash because I'm going to be using 2 exercises as attacks, and luckily they just happen to be the first 2 on my bar. Squat and then overhead press. All of your starter attacks do the same damage, but there are reasons that the others are slower. Here comes a block mechanic that it's teaching me about, so I have to hold in the ring until the enemy starts coming towards me in order to block damage, but blocking is slow, so as soon as he approaches me, I let go of the block and just take the full hit. Now when I move on to this overhead press, it's going to show that it's 2 reps, but because I'm level 3, a single rep will kill him. At level 2, you need to do both reps to kill him, but on the bright side, you get an extra 150 experience if you are under level to that. There's also a bit of a fist pump animation with that you win at the very end of the fight, and by matching the ring, I was able to go ahead and skip that. So now, coming up, is our first example of RNG in the run. Everyone's favorite. So that first enemy is scripted what he's going to do. He's always going to attack after your first attack. This one, he might attack, but he might end up being lazy instead. If he's lazy, that's the good RNG. He was not. So I have to go ahead and take the hit. And it's just a little bit faster if he is lazy. Another thing to mention is that you may notice from doing those squats, I kind of go down for a 3rd squat at the end. if the enemy is going to attack you, then with certain exercises, when you do an additional rep like that third squat, then it'll actually cause the transition to the enemy's turn to come a little faster. And this is especially notable during boss fights. Alright, here comes another victory pose. And the next stage is going to be the first boss. So here I've hit level 4. I want to hit level 5 before I get to the next boss. It looks like I will actually have enough experience leeway in order to try and show off a bit of a faster method of going up the stairs. I can't do the full skip. Some of the Japanese runners are able to mash significantly faster than I am, so they're able to go ahead and do a giant skip with these stairs. I am not, but I'll see if I can just skip a couple of these stairs at the bottom. Nope. Ooh. Completely whipped it. But that's fine. That doesn't cost too much time compared to just going up the stairs slowly. And that'll make things a bit more safe, because the next experience threshold is I want to hit level 8 at the end of the next level. Now, if I were going for world record strats, which I'll attempt, then I would not need to worry about hitting level 8. I would essentially finish the run at level 6, but then the run absolutely dies if I fail the skips. So here I'm going to take a minute of time to menu it. This is why we want to hit level 5, to remove knee to chest and chair pose from my bar. I've also set front press, which is a little bit of a weaker attack, so I want it on my bars for some of the fights later because of the backup strats I'll be using. Ideally, we don't use front press at all on the enemies, but we'll go ahead and see how that goes. So this is our first boss, and another good water break. Now, one thing about this boss, and the reason I want to hit level 5, is to save a lot of time on menuing. So all these fights I've just been matching to go ahead and do whatever attack I want to do next, just whatever's next on the bar, but here I'm actually going to go ahead and select random.
Okay.
And then I just have to guess which attack it's going to be. I always stand in squat position first, just in case. In that case, that was wrong. But now I'm going to go ahead and guess squat again. And it squats this time. So once you got the first two, then it's going to guarantee to cycle between the three. So next is going to be front press, then overhead press, etc.
Nice. That
now the next
got good form.
Absolutely, he is completely ripped. Now this attack I have to partially block. I want to let go, but then bring up the block to block for as little time as possible. And now here comes another bit of RNG. I want him to ideally attack me after this attack here. And he did not, so this is the bad RNG all around. So what's going to happen here now is he's going to hit me twice after this attack. And I'm going to need to partial block both of those. So having to partial block is slower, and the fact that it's 2 hits compared to 1 means that it's also just a lot slower. You can see the health gets dangerously low, which is why I had to block the two-handed overhand attack. And that's the first boss. His delay is a little bit before the fist pump animation, so I wait a little bit before mashing. And then, if this were Beat World 1, time would be after the victory pose that comes up after all these experience pop-ups and whatnot. And this victory pose is a little bit longer.
Way.
And that's World 1.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to be mashing because there's a bit of dialogue here, but then there's going to be a little bit of fade out, and I need to remember not to mash, because if I keep mashing, it's going to ask if I want to quit for the day, because it wants to, make sure you take proper rests every time that you've beaten a full world.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not going to do that. We're going to continue on to World 2. This hasn't been that long of exercise. So I want to make sure I continue, otherwise I lose like a minute and a half trying to get back into the game. So that's coming up right here. And we did not mash through it. So coming up to World 2, this next level is going to be the last one where I'm mashing for experience, because the last experience threshold is going to be at the start of the next stage. And again, it's mostly as a backup. Compared to world record, because of all the extra level ups I'm getting, I lose about 30 seconds, and then I lose about 30 seconds for each of the enemy skips that I'm going to miss, for a possible minute and a half compared to PB, plus, RNG and other aspects. So here's going to be a nice little skip. There was a little cave over there, so I couldn't go above that. But I can jump over the water there and not have to do the high knees. Here comes our first enemy skip. This one we've known about for a very long time. Very easy, just jump right over that. Don't have to do that fight at all. This next fight, I'm going to continue doing random attacks just like I was on the boss. And he had a chance of not attacking you on your second attack. But I feel like that's about a 10% chance that he ends up not attacking. So I generally assume he's going to attack twice. So this time, hit random and got squats first. So I won the 1 and 3. And as you can see, this guy has a very slow attack animation. So in a perfect run, you would ideally not want him to attack, but there's no controlling that at all. Best I can do is keep doing that mashing to make sure he comes up to his turn faster.
Interestingly, we've just had a question from the chat. I imagine, because you mentioned something about, I don't know whether it's still in place, the leg thing that you mentioned, but somebody wondered whether the game can tell if you're standing up, because if it was them, they'd just try and sit down and do it.
So it can definitely tell if you're standing. There's a leg strap attached to my left leg. I would show you, but it's currently under my shorts, so that's a little bit mugga TOS.
Yep,
Skip another pool of water, get a little bit of a jump there, just not go through this one quite as fast. So I think I'm going to hit level 7 by the end of the stage, and then all this mashing through the ring should get me to level 8. There's a log in here that's really hard to see, so I stopped mashing and jumped over it. I lost about 5 seconds during my first practice run back to the game to just running into that log. Last experience medal over here will get me to level 7. And this victory pose should get me to level 8. So, back to the leg strap. It can not only tell that I'm standing, but it can tell how much I'm bending, which is why I need to make sure I go deep enough on my squats, or else I end up not doing as much damage, which has happened a couple times.
Good time for a hydration break, everybody in chat, as well as Virxel. I mean, I'm taking one right now because this is tiring me out, let alone Virxel.
Alright, so here I stopped mashing, except for the very start to skip this cutscene, and also open the door really fast. Now this stage is full of conveyor belts, so I do a lot of jumping to try and maintain momentum, especially going from forward conveyor belts to backwards. I did very poorly on that jump there. That one was okay. Now here comes the first major mini skip that is very difficult. You'll be on a backwards conveyor belt. You have to do a jump and maintain a very high hover in order to not hit the enemies. And let's go!
Hey.
So that saved about 30 seconds. Here's a nice little bit of tech. Jumping on boxes. Yeah, that was okay. But very happy I got the enemy skip. So I may not need to show off the reason I need level 8.
Nice. Oh, way! I really like the victory poses.
So the next stage, it's a pretty easy walk in the park. And it's actually an easier enemy skip. Very early on, there's a top versus bottom route you have to decide between. And we used to always go top route until someone discovered with a good enough hover that you can actually skip the bottom route. So we go bottom route now to hopefully skip these enemies. And if I get the skip or fail it, I'll explain the level 8 once we're there. Here we go. It's gonna be a little bit of a drop coming up right here. Need to time myself so I don't walk. And let's go. 12 enemy skips. Didn't even need to do the grind. That saved about a minute. So all in all, I should be maybe 30 and 45 seconds behind BB at this rank. Now, I'm ignoring experience pedals because I don't want to level up. At this point, every level up is just an additional stream that takes time. So I want to avoid that as much as possible. It will not make any of the fights go faster. Next fight's a little long, so I get a relative breather, because the combat's not quite as draining as running. At least on intensity 1. So here I just move over to squats, and I'm just going to mash the rest of the way through. This guy always takes 2 turns to attack. So first one he's going to raise his arms, and then he'll hit me after this attack here. Now to explain the whole level 8 thing, both fights I skipped had 3 enemies. And all of the attacks I've been using so far are single target. So front press that I unlock actually does triple target, which is good, but it doesn't do enough damage to kill them all. So the purpose of hitting level 8 is you unlock standing twist, which actually hits 5 enemies. It's a slower attack, but if you do front press first, it'll kill all 3 enemies in about 7 reps out of 20 that I would take to finish. So there's level 9. Doing the level 8 route, I hope to be level 10 when I do the next victory pose. Now this next stage is one of the few stages that gets easier on a lower intensity. There's going to be a lot of doors, and it's just going to want me to mash the ring into these doors to blow air to spin a fan. And the number of presses you need to do is partially determined by your intensity. So on intensity 1, these go quite fast. But it's a lot more stressful on intensity 30 speedruns. Which is why the intensity 30 beat World 2 is about 45 minutes compared to the 20-ish minutes for this. And here we get to the second boss. Now, same thing as that last enemy. I'm going to want to start with squats and then just keep alternating between that and overhead press. Luckily, I can just go ahead and mash. But there are 3 enemies to target in this fight. We're going to ignore the 2 on the side. I just need to remember to mash because it's going to ask for confirmation of who I'm targeting every time I do a single target attack. You may not even notice looking at it, but you might hear the extra confirmation after I choose an attack. Alright, and one more little bit of dialogue. These hand enemies look like they pack my punch. And now this boss tends to be a lot slower, so I generally don't need to block any of his attacks. There's a small chance I get a pattern where I do have to block something at the very end. That would be horrible RNG if that happens. but we shall see.
We're going to bless it. Everybody in chat is blessing the RNG, right, chat?
Yeah, here goes the boss being lazy again, which is what we want. Because the lazier he is, the fewer attacks we have to worry about taking her out. So then this is pretty much just a straight shot to the end. If you're on PB pace, generally this is an extremely good boss to see. I'm going to block this just to be safe. Yeah, that did a lot of damage. Okay, and we're good. So time will be when the text goes away on the stretch part of the next victory pose, which I will call out as best I can. And there goes level 10.
Nice.
And the final victory pose of the run.
Ooh.
Time is now.
Wait. GG. Wow.
So that is Ring Fit Adventure Beat World 2. A very fun game, very rewarding to speedrun in my opinion, because even when you've got bad runs, you work up the sweat, and that's really worth it in itself.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Awesome.
If anyone's interested in learning more about the speedrun, the speedrun.com page for Ring Fit does have a link to our Discord. People aren't really all that social. It's a very small community, and it's much bigger in the Japanese community compared to the Western community. But if someone makes any sort of talking in there, a lot of us will jump to respond. We just don't usually have as much to say to each other at this point as kind of the old guard.
I'm amazed that you're still, prepared to talk and keep talking after doing that. I was mentioning earlier that the only sort of point of reference that I have when it comes to, physically active speedruns was a Kinect game where I just had to sort of sway from side to side and jump every so often, but that completely wiped me out. And yeah, I am thoroughly impressed. Commentary was amazing as well. I think chat absolutely loved it. So you should be very proud. That was great.
I definitely really enjoyed these speedruns, and it's taken a lot of practice to get back to being able to keep this up as well as I do, and especially, once I'm back in more shape, doing multiple of these speedruns in a single stream, just like you would any other game. I also sometimes like to do Beat World 5 speedruns, which is a good 2-hour marathon stream that is just this and a lot more. It involves planks and all sorts of other exercises that make it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, that does sound pretty grim. I even just seeing the stuff above your head, I just seeing that, I was just like, I could not do this. But yeah, thoroughly impressed. If people are interested in catching what you're up to, whereabouts can they find you?
Absolutely. So my Twitch is pretty simple, just twitch.tv/Verxel, that's VERXL. I have been having some issues lately other than the prep for the hotfix, so I haven't been streaming as much lately. But if you drop a follow and turn on notifications, you'll definitely catch me when I go live. I pretty much exclusively stream this because I don't have that much of an audience. But if I had more of an audience, maybe I could do some other casual stuff. I do have a child, so obviously family takes first priority, but he's getting to an age where I can kind of sneak in streaming every so often a little bit more.
Nice, and hopefully at some point there'll be another budding Ring Fit Adventure speedrunner when the time's right for them.
He's already watching us doing stretches and trying to imitate them, even though he's only 2 years old. He will absolutely be at least getting into this game from a casual standpoint, probably by the time he's 3 or 4. But I would not be surprised if he ends up picking up speedrunning after this.
Awesome, bless him. That would be so cool. That'd be so cool to see. But Verxel, thank you so much, everybody. That is rounding off this Moving Places Going Nowhere special Going Places episode. We have had... Let's do another run through. We've had Quake 3 VR. We've had Moss VR game. We have had Give Me My Toilet Paper, I believe is the full name for this. Yeah, Give Me Toilet Paper, which you definitely have to have a look if you did miss that. And then, of course, Ring Fit Adventure to finish off this video. Well, this video, you'll be seeing us on YouTube. Hello, YouTube, but also hello, Twitch. For folks watching on YouTube, you should find us on Twitch. You can see the action as it happens live and join the hype. But if you're joining on YouTube, you're just as welcome. And yeah, all of this episode will be up on YouTube for those who are on Twitch. I'm got a lot of audiences going on right now, but yeah, that was a whole load of fun. Going Places will be back in another 2 weeks or so, but the hotfix action doesn't stop there. We have stuff happening all the time, and we are going to be throwing it over to Think Fast next, who are going to be doing I was about to say Zocca, but Zelda Ocarina of Time Rando, with some quiz questions thrown in there, and I think the theme for this might be random. But I'll let them explain that. So once again, thank you to all of our runners for today, and yeah, do stick around and see you soon, everyone.